All right. First off, thanks everybody for. I just got a briefing, and so I'm very appreciative of that. I want to thank all of our partners who are working together to suppress these wildfires. This is a major issue around the state. I think so. Yesterday we had what 310 fires.
Yes, sir. Today's 333.
333 fires, and the state's awfully dry. So the Division of Forestry firefighters would not be as successful as they are without help from local fire departments, and they're being strapped, and private businesses such as the timber companies. I also want to thank other agency partners such as, and there's a variety of state, local, and national groups that are have an impact all around our state. If you look at the maps, we have fires all over this state right now. So the U.S. Forest Service, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife, Florida Department of Environmental Protection, Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, the Division of Emergency Management, as well as law enforcement agencies across the state. I also want to thank the Commonwealth of Virginia, and my understanding is Kentucky has sent resources down. There's a compact, and hopefully, I know we'll do the same thing when they have problems. While a lot of most of these wildfires have been caused by lightning, almost 80% of Florida wildfires are started by humans. For that reason, we all should be careful to follow these guidelines. Don't burn anything on days that are hot, dry, or windy, which seems like every day now for a little while. Check with your local fire department or the Division of Forestry before burning anything. Never leave any fire, no matter how small, unattended. Be careful using anything outdoors that involves flames, high heat, or can cause sparks to fly into dry vegetation. And everything is dry vegetation now. They're explaining to me that some of the, I guess out in the swamps, some of the stuff is 4 feet deep, right?
Yeah, the organic soil.
It's hard to believe. I guess you can walk across it now, which is a positive, but the negative is, there might be a fire underneath you. Use caution anytime you're operating off-road equipment, and make sure all off-road equipment is tuned properly and has spark arresters working correctly. Remember, the catalytic converter on your car gets very hot. Don't park on high grass or brush. Be sure your children understand the danger of fire and how quickly a wildfire can start. Be sure to extinguish all matches and smoking materials before discarding. So each of us, we've got a lot of local, state, and federal resources that we have applied to these fires, but everyone's got to take care of themselves also. We've got to watch, we've got to protect our own homes. We can't, all these resources, if we don't watch out what's happening around our homes, we're not going to be able to have the impact we want to have. So everybody's got to protect your home from wildfire damage. Keep your roof and gutters clear of anything that can burn easily. Leaves, pine needles, twigs, or palm fronds. Keep the area within 30 feet of your home well maintained. Mow regularly. Water according to local water management and local water management guidelines. So we've got a great group of resources. They've been fighting, as the chief has said, you've been fighting since what, 3 months now?
Right, or the end of March.
3 months, and so I'm sure a lot of people are awfully tired of doing this. So we've got a lot of resources all over the state, and thank goodness that we have resources from around the country that are helping us. So we're very thankful for that, and we need to be very thankful for everybody that's put in. When you're doing this, you're putting your life at risk. So I can now try to answer, or we can answer any questions that anybody has.
Governor, can you please describe what you saw during this tour and how you felt about what you saw?
Well, it started with the briefings I've had in Tallahassee with the number of fires across our state, and how dry our state is, and even how much longer it's going to take before we get enough. If you look at projections, how long before we're going to get enough rain before we're going to be able to control this. But then locally, I mean, there's a group of fires. There are fires in, the bigger one, Espanola, but you have the other smaller ones around the area. And fortunately, so far, we don't have significant risk in our homes. But as you know, the winds have changed, and now heading east. So that's where our homes are. So we have some risk. We all need to pray for rain. But what you can, I mean, what you find is if you look at the quality of the individuals working on this, people are working very hard and they're working a lot of hours, and I'm sure a lot of people are awfully tired. But we're very thankful for all the support we're getting.
Is there any money in the state budget to help counties in their expenses in fighting these fires?
So what we have is we have what the money that is in the state budget goes through the forestry, goes through emergency management, and that's the resources we're coming down with, along with the National Guard.
Mr. Governor, did you get to tour any of the fires?
No, I saw the fires as I was flying in. I saw some fires yesterday as I was flying to Orlando, and then I saw some today as I just flew over from Orlando.
Are you planning on touring any of them?
I'm not going to go tour right now any fires locally. I'm also going to be flying to Naples, and I'll be seeing fires. I think 3 days ago I was flying in, I think, to Fort Myers, and you could see the fires out in east Lee County, some fires there.
How concerned do people need to be? Is this situation going to get worse?
Well, I think people need to be very concerned. I mean, one, you can't predict what's going to happen with regard to whether we're going to get the rain. And as you know, if we do get rain, it's coming with lightning, which is causing more problems until we get enough rain that it stops all the dryness. So I think people need to be very concerned about this, and they need to be very cautious. We're going to make sure we try to do everything we can to stay ahead of it, have the resources. That's why yesterday I did an executive order that added more resources to this. So we're going to try to stay ahead of it, but it depends on when the rains come. It depends on where the wind, the wind. But we're clearly putting the resources to deal with it.
Governor, at what point do you intend to forward the declaration request to the President?
We'll continue to monitor this and see where we are on that. What else?
Can perhaps someone discuss, compare the conditions now to what they were back in 1998? I was hearing that we might even have worse conditions right now.
As far as the drought conditions go, we are, as drier. Our KDBI numbers are as high or higher than they were in '98. Fire-wise, we have more active fires today than we had in '98 on any given day. So the conditions are definitely there and as bad as '98.
And that's not just here.
Correct. That's all over the state of Florida.
Right. Yeah.
And the southeastern United States.
Mr. Governor, you'll be meeting and greeting with some of the firefighters. What would you be saying to them?
The most important thing is to thank them for their service. Let them make sure they know that all of us, all Floridians, are very appreciative of their tireless effort, 2, the fact that they're putting their lives at risk, and 3, that we're going to make sure that they get additional resources that we'll deal with this. So that's the most important thing to do. But the most important thing is to be very thankful to them.
I have one last question. Do we actually have enough resources? I mean, in terms of firefighters, do we have enough men and women to fight these fires in the state of Florida?
Well, the reason we have these compacts that we get resources from other states, we do the same thing for them when they have problems, is to deal with that. So we're going to make sure that we'll monitor all these fires across the state. We'll make sure that we have the state resources, the national resources, to make sure that we deal with that. But part of it's going to depend on when does the rain come, where the winds go. But we'll monitor it and we'll make sure we have the right resources.
You said you would be getting additional resources. Like what kind of additional resources? I mean, can you be more specific about
Sure.
that?
We've with the executive order now, we have the resources of the National Guard, and then as we'll be monitoring this around the state, and if we need additional resources from other states, we'll ask for them, and if we need initial resources from the federal government, we'll be doing that also.
We have time for one more question.
All right. Thank you very much.